is Namita Mehta and I'm the president of Red Pen. Today I have with me here James Postle from Millfield School, which is the largest co-ed boarding school in the UK, and believe it or not, the first pupils are from India.
Hello, hi Anita. My name is James Postle. I'm Deputy Head of Enrolment at Millfield School and I've been there 10 years.
Fantastic. So James, I wanted to ask you, there's so many British boarding schools in the UK, and what is so special about Millfield?
Well, you hit upon one when you mentioned our very first pupils came from India in 1935. So our ancestry comes from India. It feels like coming home when we come to visit, which we like to try and do at least a couple of times a year. We're a really interesting mix of where our students come from, and we like that diversity. So we're very much a traditional British boarding school, but at the same time, 20% of our students are international, and they come from over 70 different countries. And we like that mix. No one nationality dominates. And that sort of spreads out in much of the mixture of all the activities and the academic range which we offer as well. So we are a diverse, large, exciting, forward-thinking, busy boarding school, which also challenges young people to really develop, find their brilliance, but also to get them fit for the 21st century.
That's brilliant, James. I haven't had a chance to visit, but I've heard that Millfield has one of the most beautiful campuses in the UK. So can you tell me a little bit more about your campus?
We're very lucky. We've got over 450 stunning acres in the wonderful Somerset countryside. Very useful, and certainly came to its own when you've got a pandemic and people concerned about being in environments where we might be on top of each other. We're spread out in a fantastic, beautiful green setting. The weather's pretty nice in Somerset. It might rain occasionally, but it's not at all bad for Britain. And we are very lucky having some modern and wonderful facilities. People often talk about Millfield's grounds. It's swimming pool, 50 metres, it's indoor and outdoor tennis courts, provision, our equestrian centre, athletics track, all of which are sport-based, but that's not to run down our theatre, purpose-built music concert hall, our stunning art provision, our photography centres and our product design areas. Our music and dance are incredibly important to us as well. So the creative arts as much as anything on the sporting front. And our academic classrooms, we are equipped with fantastic chemistry, science, physics, building state-of-the-art facilities. And our boarding houses are really very nice. You've got rooms of between 2 and 3 on average across the school, often in purpose-built environments, and some lovely grounds.
Fantastic. I'm so tempted to come. So next time I'm in the UK, expect a visit from me.
I'll hold you to that.
100%. So I think another really unique thing about Millfield is the curriculum that you offer, and how the vast curriculum that you offer. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, Anita. I think this is really important. We very much want to cater for people with different interests and a diverse range of what that is, both in the classroom and outside. Look, we've got a wonderful reputation for sport, and we are probably the leading school in terms of the achievements of our alumni and the we as well, current pupils achieve in sport, possibly in the world. And we've had people represent us in the Olympics, from over 100 different Olympians in a range of different sports and from a range of different countries. And we are national champions of football. We've got those representing England in rugby, cricket, and a whole range of other different sporting fronts. But that is just one aspect of that diversity, because the curriculum in terms of the academic provision is diverse as well. We offer over 20 different subjects across our GCSE and at A-level, nearly up to 25-30. And our provision of A-levels is broad in terms of that stretch. We offer our EPQs as well. So we like to be able to cater for those who are super bright and go on to top universities. Ivy League in the US, we're an SAT centre, a number of our students go off to US universities. And we also cater for those who may find some aspects of academic life a little bit more challenging to us.
Fantastic, James. Thank you for that. So another thing that I wanted to touch upon is just pastoral care. I mean, British boarding schools traditionally have such a fantastic reputation of pastoral care and safety. And when international and Indian families are thinking of sending their children away, that's definitely a concern. So, well, not a concern, but something definitely that they want to know more about. So if you can tell me a little bit about how your pastoral care is structured, and whether there's a matron and a housemaster, and how does it work?
Sure. One of the beauties about living in Somerset is it's a lovely, safe part of the world. I don't say you can quite go out and leave the door open, but you probably could. So it's a great campus environment. Each house is a home, it's your base, it's where your housemaster or house mistress is going to be very much the most important person in your day-to-day life and the pastoral care. They're the loco parentis of the parents. Gavin Horgan, headmaster, often likens the relationship to be a bit like a godparent. Somebody who's going to be looking after and offering sort of advice and helping with the upbringing and care of a young person. And they're tricky years in those, going
Indeed.
into teenagers and beyond. So that's a guiding hand through that period. But all the people in the house, their academic staff who are linked to the house and attached in the tutor groups, break down to groups of 12 to 14 in the tutor group, through to the overall house of about 50 to 60, and then a head of year and a year team as well. All of these aspects are bringing people you can go and talk to if you've got a concern. You can go to the counsellors, you can go and talk to the senior prefect, and any of us member staff who wear sort of a mental health certificate that we've actually got in coloured lanyard. You can go and approach as well. So all of these aspects are catered for, and we're very aware of students perhaps travelling for the first time overseas. Maybe it's their first time being away from the place.
I think it's so important to have such a robust support system, especially in places like boarding schools, and I don't think there's anyone who does it better than the British boarding schools. So I'm really glad to hear about the infrastructure that you set up. You touched upon this, James, but many families really look at boarding schools as a stepping stone to higher education. And you mentioned that you were an SAT centre. So my next question is, around university placements and destinations where your students end up. If you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure, Anita. It's we're again representing that diversity. We have a very wide range of different interests that our students go on to study and to pursue as careers. So it's very broad. We have about 20% of our alumni go on to US universities. We're an SAT centre, as I mentioned, which means other schools come to us to sit for SATs. We have a dedicated member of careers who looks after American university entrance, and a Virginian fellow each year who comes and offers advice and guidance on how to get into a US university. But of course, all our other universities are available as well in the UK and across the world. I believe what's happening now is increasingly students are looking broader than just the traditional universities they would have done for different paths.
I completely agree with you. I think there's so many more English language programs that are coming up, even within Europe, which didn't exist. Netherlands now, what a fantastic destination, and some of these programs didn't even exist 5 years ago. So, across Europe, Southeast Asia, there's just ample opportunity. The educational landscape is just constantly evolving, and so many more opportunities for students. I don't know if you've heard of this university, Minerva, where you're literally in a different place every term. I think that's really the way the world is moving. So why not kind of integrate that into higher education, right?
Absolutely. I think we would hope that we are preparing people for that kind of lifestyle. I guess we're the hub. People come from around the world and the UK to us, but we're also in India right now. So we like to come out and we'll have functions we have 24,000 alumni, and they are really interested and passionate. I think one thing we've learned in this pandemic is young people like being at school.
Absolutely.
And we're very lucky we've got a vast alumni who actually look back very fondly for the most on their time at school. And isn't that great? You get to enjoy your school years as well as being something that prepares you for life.
I completely agree with that. I think I remember my boarding school days very, very fondly, and the opportunities that you get at the doorstep in a school are unlike any other. If you're living in a place like Dubai, where I stay now, thinking about what extracurricular activity you want to do revolves around when the availability and the traffic. Whereas if you're sitting in a place like Millfield, where everything's literally at your doorstep, when there's swimming one afternoon, or let me try horse riding, or actually I'm going to try a physical play. It's all there, right? And you should try everything. I think that's
that we have a lot of very tired parents who've been looking after swimmers who get up very early in the morning. They beat a path to our door sometimes, and you can see they've got a lot of early starts. So we will look after a lot of those things and help busy parents
manage all of that.
and the quality of life's better. You're not commuting and stuck in traffic. Why not be using that time for a positive recreational aspect instead?
I completely agree. So, James, my last question to you is: what one piece of advice do you have for prospective Millfield applicants?
That's a really good question. Only one. You're restricting me to.
You can give me two.
Okay. I think first and foremost for applicants, look at our website, look at our apps, look at the information, and really do this for any school. But have a look and try and narrow down to schools that you like the look of. Do it again. Try and narrow down to schools that you like the look of, and schools which you feel you'll be at home with. Because to be honest, many schools will offer similar things, all a bit distinctive, but they'll offer many good education. But it's the mix of the people you're with. Are you going to make friends? Do I feel at home? Like buying a house, do you come in and relax and think, yeah, I can see myself here. I can relate to these other students. I can relate to the staff members and the way they talk to me. And I think that's your due diligence. That's the bit you need to do as a student. And then be really well prepared when you have your interview. Because I will ask you, why do you want to come to the school? And that'll be one of the first questions I ask you. I've written that out. They'll all be well prepared, students from Red Pen from now on.
But that's great, isn't it?
Okay.
I also think that visiting is so important if they have the opportunity, right? Because sometimes when you walk into a boarding school, you get that sixth sense, and you're like, okay, well, I can see myself here, and I can imagine myself in these grounds, I can imagine myself in that uniform, and oftentimes when you visit, you get the opportunity to meet current students. That is such a huge influence.
Our students do such a good tour. And that is really good. And we give pretty much that time. And actually, I do believe that young people are nowadays far more involved in the decision making with their parents about making their choice to come to schools.
We had such a great conversation about that over dinner last night, and I completely agree with you.
I think that it's a different era we're in,
Indeed.
and the era of the prospectus, which was presented in the post and parents might put in front of someone, and that's great. We want students who want to come to the school. That is absolutely the centre of making sure it's a successful relationship. So yeah, definitely, and our students are very proud to show people around, and they do a great job, and they do it for free. Wow.
Wow.
Maybe they get off a lesson or something.
Well, thank you so much, James. It's been fantastic to learn all about Millfield, and I do promise to come the next time I'm in the UK.
Lisa, thank you very much for having us here. It's been another wonderful day with Red Pen.